Welcome to the Common Sense Nation. I'm your host, the Doctor of Common Sense. I want you to come in and enjoy yourself. Now, if you're real sensitive to facts and truth, this might not be the broadcast for you. You might want to join some of the broadcasters who scratch your itching ears. We're not in that over here. It's okay to disagree. It's okay to get yourself upset. But please be respectful in our comments. Our moderators will be monitoring you if you get a little too hostile. It's okay if we disagree, because everybody's not going to agree on everything. But I can tell you this, and I promise you this. We plan on exposing both sides when they lie. No, I'm not concerned if your feelings get hurt. I'm not concerned if your favorite politician, your favorite YouTuber, your favorite reporter, your favorite athlete, your favorite actor gets exposed. Our job in the Common Sense Nation is to expose and report the facts. If the facts are offensive to you, that may sound like a you problem. Enjoy the show.
Back up for a minute. And I want to say this to Brother Elmore, Nolan's stepfather. And I want to say this to Coach Tracy, who I believe was one of Nolan's coaches. Brother Elmore, the stepfather, and Coach Tracy, the coach, both said on national television, Art, that they don't think race played a role in this at all. Elmore, Tracy, two dark-skinned black men in Mississippi, and both of them said on national television, I don't think race had anything to do with this case. I am disappointed in Brother Elmore. I am disappointed in Coach Tracy. How dare you help these young people avoid the Matthew Shepard and James Byrd Jr. federal hate crimes law, Art? By you saying you don't think this had anything to do with race, Brother Elmore and Coach Tracy, you are helping these white folks avoid federal hate crimes charges.
Now, see, I'm going to tell you something, is that I done figured out something. Well, I figured it out a while back, but it's becoming more and more evident that people are really offended by facts. And if you start saying facts, what they'll do is they'll get real emotional. Kind of like that fella was doing. He calls himself Dr. Umar. I don't know if that school is open up yet that he's been talking about for a while, but I'm going to keep saying this, and I don't care how you race hustlers, you grifters, get upset about it, because we got several clips. They got a new conference that they did, and they just so happened that they had a conference with the parents of Nolan Wells, Al Sharpton, Benjamin Crump, and all of the black journalists. And so if you'll notice that the only time Christine Walsley feels like talking is when it's softball questions, kind of like when Kamala Harris was running for office, and when she found out she was losing, she had to go on Fox News, or maybe somebody was a little conservative, and she looks like she was a bumbling idiot. This is an all-out grift, and I know this is going to sound offensive to some of you, but Christine Wells is a better grifter than if you go look at Mike Brown's mother, if you go look at Trayvon Martin's mother, George Floyd's mother. They're amateurs compared to her. Now, I'm not taking the fact that she lost her son, and I don't care about you saying I'm trying to tell her how to grieve. It's kind of like the same folks who was telling Charlie Kirk's wife how to grieve. And we were able to criticize her on some of her things. So I don't understand how you think that you can keep doing these interviews and tell me you're looking for facts when you won't give up the damn phone. If you want facts, you should have been gave up the phone. They've been telling us, and I got a clip of the Asian lawyer who's with Benjamin Crump coming up with a lame excuse, the reason why they haven't given it up. But I'm not buying that one either. This has become a all-out grift show to me. Everything about these people is about grifting. And I'm going to be honest with you. I just think it's downright shameful the way they're using this something so tragic. And it seems to me the whole thing has become about grifting. It ain't even about Nolan Wells anymore, because every time I see a press conference, I've yet to see Benjamin Crump, Al Sharpton, any of the lawyers that has something to do with them, including Elmore and Christine. I don't see them actually telling us that they're looking for facts. It don't appear to me that they're really looking for facts. In my humble opinion, it seems like they're looking for everything but the facts. Because if you're looking for facts, first thing you would have did is you would have contacted the people. And Elmore has the unmitigated gall to say that he's been told 3 lies. Same fella who said a car was parked in his driveway for 2 days, he didn't know what car it was. Now he's trying to pretend like he's looking for contradiction. Thing is laughable to me, but I got several clips that I want to show you today about some of the professional grifting, because that's what I call it. When you only talk to civil rights people, and every time you're giving an interview is by some activist that calls himself a reporter, it becomes comical that you're not looking for facts. Al Sharpton at the press conference was talking about Democrats taking office so they can put the people, I guess the right prosecutors in there. You mean like the ones who keep letting the hardened criminals out of jail 30 and 40 times after they committed felony after felony? You want them kind of like Tish James in there, Alvin Braggs, the ones who let bad actors out of jail? Al Sharpton says that the parents don't have a question, they haven't had the question answered on if this is a civil rights issue or not. Well, my question to Al Sharpton and the rest of these people, if you want the question answered if it's civil rights, how about we get that, tell the grand jury to hand over the autopsy? Because personally, I think Al Sharpton, and especially Benjamin Crump and Christine and Elmo, has already saw the report. Now, my thing is, I think it's some on the phone that the mother wanted us to see. And now when you listen to Elmore, it seems like there was some kind of ruckus the night that he went over to the house to get the phone. Now, at first, I don't remember this part coming out because Christine says that she sent her friend over there. The one who cusses everybody out online, she sends the friend over there. I never knew Elmore went over there to get the phone and the keys because it never told that story. And some of her friends' people was over there acting a fool. I can't remember if it was Warren's house or at Jack's house. But they had to call 911 because they was over there acting like a bunch of coloreds, acting like a damn fool with no proof. And I'm sick of everybody, especially the parents, keep saying, we know our son. We know our son. Our son would never stay behind. Well, I don't know any 18 or 19-year-old who does everything their parents says, unless your son is Jesus, and I don't think he's Jesus. But they're saying that, now you're going to listen to closely, because 1 minute Christine acts like she don't know none of these people because they didn't really grow up with her son. Next minute, he's always spending the night over somebody else's house. They're always picking him up. So either you know what your son would do or you don't know. Because all of these pictures and all this time he was with these other friends, some white, some black, you act like you don't know any of these friends when you say you know your son so well, he communicate with you. Well, they was picking him up all the time and they was doing all these things together. They got pictures everywhere together. How you don't know some of these people that you say your son communicates with you all the time? Well, you should have knew some of this stuff then. There has been no evidence that the body of Nolan Wells was abused in any way. Nobody, so you can shut your effing mouth. Nobody has shown me anything to prove that anybody did anything to the damn body. If we're going to keep attempting to say justice for Nolan Wells without one shred of evidence to prove anyone wronged him, it's absurd to me. Now, you'll notice during the interview on, I think it was yesterday they did this interview, she first said Nolan had no enemies. And then she goes on and says that she only knew a couple of his real friends. Which one is it? He had no enemies, or he just had the friends that you agree with? You say everybody loved Nolan. Well, seems to me you contradicting yourself a little bit, but we're going to get to some of that. Now, I want to give I don't want to wait to give some of my shout outs because my man Leviton just hit us up, said, hey, E.T., Common Sense Nation, I appreciate you, brother. Let me give you a shout out because I got quite a bit of clips we're going to show tonight. Some a little lengthy. We're going to be stopping them and starting them because of how long some of them are, because we're going to play. We're going to stop and start some of them. I think that's the better way to do it. Now, what I like to do is I would like to start out. Who do I want to start out? I want to start out with the latest interview, because then I'm going to go back to the Good Morning American interview. I'm going to talk to one of the lawyers who was on Chris Como, who saw the autopsy. Chris Como must have saw the autopsy too. And then there's another press conference with Al Sharpton and that crew. I'm gonna replay that one also. But I want to start out with this latest one.
They asked me to call them Christine and Elmore. I want to say Mr. and Mrs. Wansley, but Christine and Elmore. I want to tell you, in the audience in this room, but also watching at home, are thousands of Black journalists. But in addition to being Black journalists, these are mothers and fathers, siblings, cousins, aunts, and uncles of Black children. And
she said Black 3 times already, and we just got started. Because I would want justice regardless of skin color or who may have done something. But see, this is why they had Benjamin Crump set this up. That see, she can go down and look like, I'm gonna start calling her like what's the lady name? I'm gonna start calling her the light-skinned Harriet Tubman. Christine Wells is the light-skinned Harriet Tubman now, because that's what they're treating her like she's you can't ask her any questions. But even though and Al Sharpton on the interview says he's offended that the young men are hiring lawyers and suing people. He said, and he lies and said they're suing the mother. Personally, I would if you falsely accuse my son and my son hadn't done anything, I'll sue the mother and the father. And I'll sue every last one of them. You try to do that to my child. Because we don't know if anything was done to her child. Not yet.
we see your humanity, and we're going to center that in this conversation. There you go.
Here.
I told Christine if we cry on this stage, it's okay, because we're among family.
Amen.
So you take your
Benjamin Crump said, amen.
time. Christine, I'm going to start with you. On Friday, July 3rd, Nolan made you dinner.
Okay, I'm gonna skip this part because that's when she talked about the last night she saw it. I want to get to where she starts talking about the people.
I love you, Mom. I was like, be safe, knowing this was going to be his last weekend before going back to school because football was starting, the summer training was starting. And this was his second year at Southwest. And so we knew this was going to be a big year for him. Dad and him had been training and doing all these things and really just kind of sitting with him and letting him know, like, hey, we're going to the next stage in your life as well as, your football career. So the focus was there.
Okay, get to the point now.
And Jax, again, that was one I just maybe saw in passing a few times.
Okay, that's the part. This is when she tried to act like they're not good friends with some of these boys.
He told us kind of a general, like, hey, we're going to go to the island. Like, we knew that. I'm staying at Jack's house.
So he's going to be staying at Jack's house. So she's saying she don't know who Jax is really, even though her son is staying at his house. Now, she said her son communicates everything with her. Elmore said her son communicates everything with her. He would never stay on the island with a girl. But you just said you don't really know Jax. So he's staying at somebody's house you don't really know. I mean, you gotta be consistent now.
And Jax was a friend I think we've met in passing before. And that's the thing.
Notice that everybody who contradicts her story is that we met in passing. The guy who cut Nolan's hair, he didn't really know him that well. You got to make it. You got to be a little bit more consistent.
You know, I always say there's a difference in meeting someone, knowing of someone, and then knowing someone.
Did you see that? It's a difference in knowing of someone and knowing someone and knowing someone. She sounds like a preacher now. This girl is a professional activist now. Mark my word, she gonna start being the voice. She gonna get her own 501c nonprofit, and she gonna start being a spokesman, an activist, and everybody gonna be referring to her as Nolan's mother. Even though we're gonna be able to prove that nobody did anything to Nolan, she's still gonna become an activist off her son dying, drowning.
Knowing implies that we've sat down, we've had discussions about your hopes, your dreams, you know.
Bullshit. Yeah, I said it too. I didn't say BS, I said bullshit. Parents know when we, especially like just say when we grew up, my parents knew all of the kids in the neighborhood, but they never stand down and never sit down and had, what's your dreams? What's your aspirations? No, you don't have to do that to know somebody. Kids come out, most times you don't have deep conversation. They come over, they eat your food up. Your kid's friend eat your food up, they come over. Y'all don't have deep conversation. Not all the time, maybe sometimes. But she act like you have to have a deep conversation in order to know who his friends is. They at your house. They're picking him up. He's spending the night at their house, but he don't know him? I'm not spending the night at nobody's damn house I don't really know. What are you talking about?
No, knowing you, okay, hey, he stayed the night at my house, which Wyatt, one of his friends, he had stayed at our house.
Oh, now Wyatt stayed at the house, but we don't really know him. So you parked the car in your driveway for 2 days. We don't really know you. You stayed at my house, but we don't really know you. Would you let one of your kids' friends stay at the house you don't even know him? Could be a murderer.
A couple of times. And then Jax, again, that was one I just maybe saw in passing a few times.
Jax was just passing a few times. Now, Jax said he picked him up a bunch of mornings, just like I think I was warned also when he was being interviewed by Officer Tatum, said he picked him up several times. They used to pick him up all the time.
There's only a handful of young men that we actually knew, like he grew up with.
You listen, there's people that I didn't even grow up with. I might be closer than somebody who I grew up with, or even family members sometimes. So knowing people for a long period of time don't make them good friends. You know that, right? I'm not saying it can't be, but it don't necessarily mean that.
And when I say grew up, I'm saying from like first grade, they've known each other all through high school now that they're graduated. And that would be like Jalen and.
See, they did this conference right here. This was her coming out party. The light-skinned Harriet Tubman was coming out in this particular platform because they let her do most of the talk. Now, Elmore, the Kunta Kinte of the bunch, is going to come in and say something too. And he's going to try to say that the boys told 3 different lies. Elmore going to say that.
Javon, LeBaron, those are kids that we knew. So it's been hard seeing all this kind of play out.
So what she's saying is that he only really knew the black kids. That's what she's trying to say. It's the only ones he really knew. Even though she said before that he had all these friends, everybody loved him. But now, since he's dead, he only loves the black kids. I just wonder, what would Nolan Wells say about his mother if he could talk to her right now? what would he say to his mother? Like, Mom, this is not the way I want you to take. I bet you would say, because he seemed like a good kid. Do you understand? Sometimes the God Almighty puts something in the kids regardless of what their parents are. Sometimes they may be good parenting. Sometimes it got nothing to do with the parenting. It's got something to do with the Lord placing something in a child. Because there's good parents who has rotten kids, and there's bad parents who has good kids. Now, I'm not saying they were bad parents. At the same time, what they're doing right now is desecrating their son's memory.
Yeah.
And, you know, these are people that he considered friends.
Yes.
Like,
So
what was going on?
Wait a minute. The other ones wasn't friends?
Starting, the summer training was starting.
I'm sorry, I just messed it up. Hold on.
It says maybe Warren. And I'm like, Warren? So this is 11:07. That's per my cell phone records. So I answered the phone. And he's like, hey, Miss Christine, have you seen or talked to Nolan? I said,
so she's saying that one of the boys called. Have you seen him? So that's when you should have called and talked to his parents. You should have talked to them. Y'all should have got together on that. But immediately, it seems to me, the next day they go with the Benjamin Crump route instead of even really doing any investigation. Because the boys was out there looking for Nolan also. They were helped doing the search too.
no, why? He should be with you guys. And he said, oh, no, well, you know, when we went to the island, there was a girl named Katie that he met, and he had decided to stay behind. And I said, what? Because we know our child.
Here again, we know our child. So says the woman who got her first 3 kids taken away from her.
And Nolan isn't one to be like, oh, well, I'm just going to throw caution to the wind, and I'm going to stay here with this girl that I just met. So
He got a little alcohol in his system, and he got hormones. So you don't know what he would have did because he's not Jesus.
On the phone with him. Now I'm in a panic. I'm running into my room. Elmore was in bed watching a different movie, and I'm like frantic. He's, what's going on? I'm like, Nolan is missing. I'm trying to pull up the GPS as I'm talking to him. And at some point, he tells me that, I was like, well, you know, his phone says GPS Life 360, not Snapchat.
Right.
Life 360 says that he's on land. And he was like, well, no, I mean, you know, well, we have his phone.
So they said we had a phone. He said we had the phone. On Good Morning American, according to Benjamin Crump in her, they traced the phone. So he told you he had the phone. You didn't trace the phone and find the phone. The young man told you he had the phone.
And I'm like, wait, what? And I'm like, okay.
See, notice how she's talking as much. A grieving mother normally at these kind of things talk. I'm telling you, she's going to become an activist.
Because at that point, you're telling me, this is coming from Warren, don't worry about it. We're going to find him. It's going to be okay. Don't tell me not to worry. This is my child, my flesh and blood that I brought into this world. And you're telling me not to.
See, she's not a play to the black crowd. This was my flesh and blood. I brought him into this world. Who's saying you didn't? You brought the other 3 into the world too. The ones that you lost to your first husband or baby dad or whatever.
Worry. Absolutely not. So then it was after the phone call ended, of course, asking him for information. What was he wearing? He was like, last seen, Northwest tip, black shorts, sunglasses. That's important. So I end up calling DMR, spoke with the DMR. She took all
Just
the...
for our audience, DMR.
So DMR is because he went missing on the island. They are basically the Marine people, right? They're the ones who's going to launch the boat.
Okay, let's get past this.
Go to the police department, get to the police station, and the officer basically says, again, this is out of our jurisdiction. And at that point, I'm like, my God, who am I supposed to talk to? Who is supposed to help me with this? So then he said, it's going to be, you would have to call DMR. I was like, we've already called DMR. DMR said it's not in their jurisdiction. So we end.
See, this is the official coming out party. Official.
We actually, his high school football coach, Coach Bramlett, text Elmore that morning. He said, hey man, I got a boat. Because again, we don't have boats. Let me make that very clear. We do not have a boat. We're not boating people. We don't.
Did you get what she said? We don't have a boat. We're not voting people. We're not like the white people. My dad had a boat. Now, we mostly went fishing in my dad's boat, but my dad had a boat. We went fishing all the time.
Don't do water like that, okay? So Coach Bramley.
We don't do water like that. Well, evidently Nolan did.
It's like, hey, I got a boat. So we was like, great, let's go. We're on the water. We go out there. We walk the island. Cell phone works perfectly fine. I actually had almost an entire conversation with my grandmother who was in a panic as we're walking this island looking for anything.
I just want to pause there at this.
I want to pause there too. So I know people are going to get mad because I keep bringing this up. So when Christine lost custody of her first 3 kids at the age of, the twins was 1 going on 2, the little girl was 3 going on 4. So her grandmother was living, her mother was living, her father was living, and she still lost custody. And she wasn't on drugs. I really would like to know that, but now she's acting like the perfect mother that she'll do it wrong. You can't criticize her, but we can criticize everybody else.
Cell phone worked fine because in the reporting there's been so much reporting that there's poor cell phone reception, and this is some of the disputes that we have about that night. Dad, feel free to jump in here because they're saying he met this young lady, Katie, and that he stayed back. According to the reporting, Katie is saying no. He said he was going to go with his friends. According to the reporting, the friends say no, he left us his phone because there was no reception. Dad, have you found any consistencies? Have you spoken directly with any of his friends?
Well, the first inconsistency was you called me and tell me my son stayed on the island to talk to a girl.
Did you hear Elmore trying to get cocky? He said the first inconsistent is you told me my son stayed on the island to talk to a girl. He said that's impossible. Any man in here who's been 18 or 19 before? Because naming the young man who's 18 and 19 that tells their parents everything. Because I know damn well I wasn't telling them everything. And nobody else. And if you say you are, you're a damn liar. No 18 and 19-year-old who's been drinking, which is illegal, by the way, is going to tell. Nobody ever brings it up. Did y'all know he was drinking? Is that okay? Did y'all give him permission to drink underage? Since we want to get technical. But what they're saying is that there's no way in the world my son would ever do something like this. Really? Really?
My son would never do that. That's not in his character. I didn't raise none of my kids to do that. The second thing is you say he doesn't have his phone. He doesn't leave his phone.
Why did my microphone just get unplugged for some reason? Hold on a minute. My microphone just came unplugged. There you go. Okay.
I would wake up sometimes in the morning and Nolan would have his phone here right in my face. And I'm waking up cussing and fussing like, boy, you don't get the camera on my face. And he just laughing and giggling and stuff like that. So that's twice. To me, that's 2 lies that he told me.
Elmore said that's 2 lies. Elmore said if you told him that your son stayed there with a woman, he said that's a lie. Well, Elmore gave me no proof that that's supposed to be a lie. Now, my question is, what proof did Elmore just give that they lied to him about him staying there? Because we got at least 2 or 3 more other witnesses that saw Nolan on the island after 4:30 when the boat left. And he said you told him 2 lies that he left his phone. He would never leave his phone. I thought that was standard, that they left their phone sometimes. I thought that was a standard deal. They left their phone on the boat or something so they won't get in the water with it.
As a father. Like I said, we went on the island. And actually, a classmate of mine called me that morning as we were going out to the island with Nolan's coach. He's like 40 miles away. He calls and, hey man, I got the boat. Me and my boys, we're gonna go out there and help you look. I didn't call him. He called me. And we're gonna start on this end. I said, well, we're probably gonna start on the other end. So me, my wife, Coach Bramley, and a high school classmate of mine were the only, we were the first ones out there looking. Like I said, we docked the boat, got out the boat, walked on the island. She had a whole conversation with her grandmother on the island. Got back on the boat, went back around the island. I guess that would be the north side, facing the Gulf of Mexico. I get another phone call. So my phone worked fine. So this whole thing about not having phone service, I don't know. I don't know if it's the carrier or what, but ours worked fine.
Now you hear what Brother Elmore says. Elmore is talking. Elmore, the stepdad, is talking real cocky right now. Now, you're gonna make me do it to you, Elmore. I didn't want to do you like this, but I'm out to. I got something for you in a few minutes. But see, now Elmore is talking. He didn't got his voice. The cat didn't gave him back his tongue now, because at first the cat got his tongue. And you know when you said the cat got your tongue, means you can't talk. Yeah, evidently. You know what? I'm supposed to be, before I forget, I'm supposed to be, remind me, I gotta say a prayer for one of Eric's friends tonight. Because he sent me some, and make sure, because I won't forget. I just reminded myself when I just saw that. His friend named Jordan, he passed away on the car crash, had a car crash. He was 22 years age. So we're going to have to say a prayer for Eric's friend tonight. We're going to say that before we get out of here. My man, now I hope I'm not finna butcher you. I'm not finna butcher your name. It looks like it's J-Ro, but it looks like Judah Jerk. That's the name. That's the name he put on there. He just hit us up on our buy me a coffee. That's what I'm gonna call you then, brother. That's the name I see on it. So I hope you're not. It looks like Judah Jerk. he just hit us up. I appreciate you, brother. Also, our sweet Dolores, she says, love you and love Clever. Miss Dolores hit us up also. God bless you, Miss Dolores. Hit us up on Buy Me a Coffee. And my man, Eric, who we're going to pray for you, your friend, before we get out of here, Eric, Mr. LeBron, Eric, the welder, hit us up also. Now, something that Elmore has said here, Elmore is chunking rocks now, not throwing rocks, chunking them. Because there's a difference between chunking and throwing. He ain't throwing rocks, he's chunking them. Because when I get to Al Sharpton, this clown here, boy, I'm going to tell you one of the problems with the Black community. It's the problem with all communities. Whether you're white or Jewish or Latina or Asian, if you got lousy leaders and you follow lousy leaders, you get lousy results. And so Elmore is now claiming that the bar has been lying to him. This is what Elmore is saying.
I think those around maybe 8 o'clock.
Yeah, because we finished up around.
Who was it? Jackson County or the?
Yeah, Jackson County Sheriff.
Finally showed up.
Yeah.
A couple of boats, they finally showed up. By that time, I was like, he's not out here. I was more focused that he was at someone's house.
That was the
So, that's where my hopes and feelings were. So we left. The county stayed out there. My friend, he stayed out there because he called. He was like, well, we're going to stay out here a little bit longer. I said, okay, I appreciate it. So we leave. Then I would say maybe a couple hours later, my friend calls me back. And he said, well, we're going to give it and go. But he said, look, I can gas the boat back up. And if you want to go back out there, we can go back out there. I said, I don't want to go back out to the island. I have a feeling that he's not.
Nephew, L. Robert, that's nephew. Nephew says, hey, nephew, this is why I was telling Clever. I've been telling Clever this the whole time. Nephew says, Uncle Doc, if they all had to testify under oath, can Elmore be held for lying under oath? See, nephew, this is what I keep telling everybody. Everybody's got one story to tell until you put their asses under oath. I wonder if Christine, Elmore, Benjamin Crump, and Al Sharpton will say the same stuff under oath. Because a lot of people be saying a whole bunch of stuff, but they won't say it under oath. I remember when Alex Jones was talking about Sandy Hook. And I remember telling everybody, I bet when he get an oath, I bet he don't say it under oath. When they put him on the oath, he changed what he was saying. It's easy to say that stuff on the internet because I got this lawyer who was on, what's his name? Whatever his name. He was on there. I'm going to bring him up because he made a point that I think we just underestimating the main point. Nobody has showed us anything that was done to the body's abuse. Some little mark behind his head could have been anything he laid down. There was no trauma to the body, period. So the initial findings, what they said is that we didn't see any foul play. Well, based on just examining the body before the autopsy come back, they're saying they don't see any obvious wounds, knife wounds, bullet wounds, abuse in any way. Even though people on the internet was lying. Those two women that was lying about the body being abused need to be put on an oath and need to have charges filed against them too.
Right there. And I don't want to go back to the island. So he said, he offered, he said, well, if you do, we can go right now. I said, don't.
Now watch, Elmore's going to say when they went to the house that was causing the ruckus, he wasn't doing it. He calmed down the other people. Christina's friends went over there and they was acting a fool at somebody else's house.
Don't worry about it. I appreciate you coming out there. But he said at that time that helicopters were out there, more Coast Guard, more people were out there. Mm-hmm. So you get back on land, and as far as the keys, what was that night? Or was it
that was that night?
That was the night to call.
See, this is why they don't let Elmore talk that much, because Elmore is not capable of articulating his damn points. Now, you may sound that it's offensive. It's a fact. That's why they let Christine does the talking, because she's a better spokesman than Benjamin Crump. See, this, I told you, she's going to be the new spokesman. You can mark my word on this. Mark my word when I tell you this. She's going to be in some organization, maybe her own one founded. It may be called the Nolan Wells Foundation or something like that. Because you can mark my word on this one. She's going to do that for sure. She's loving the spotlight. I don't want to hear this. We can't criticize her. When Charlie Kirk got his brain blowed out, his neck shot or whatever, y'all was saying stuff about Erica Kirk. What do you mean we can't talk about this? When I catch you in lie after lie, I'm going to examine it. You can get pissed off all you want to, huffing the puff. I got some guy who said he was telling everybody to put their masks on, go down there. Won't you take your bad ass down there? Everybody's a badass on the internet. Talking about what they gonna do. Won't you go down there and do something, then, fella? They say he's a teacher. I'm gonna show you his clip. But I'm gonna let Elmore finish because I'm gonna bring this lawyer up for what he said. One of the lawyers who's suing people for coming with this false information.
Okay, let me back up. As far as getting the car back, after we gave our report to Jackson County, the sheriff department that night,
you know, I hate to say this, but every time Elmore talks, it reminds me of something whenever Elmore talks. You remember James Evans when he played Kunta Kinte on Roots? You remember that? I don't know why he reminds me of Kunta Kinte for some reason. He just does. I mean, I don't mean to be offended or something.
Master, good nigga. Don't send Toby away. Toby be good field hand, boss. Good field hand, master.
That's all right, Toby. That's all right. You be a good field hand, and you can stay here.
Ah, Toby, stay. Toby, stay. Toby be good now. Toby be real good.
Did you see how what's name was looking at him?
Toby be good nigga for master. Good.
Look how you looking. Look how you looking. That's funny as hell. That's funny as hell. Let's bring Elmo back up since he's running his mouth.
we were trying to figure out who to get a report to. We had a friend in the family that located his phone. We wasn't there to get the phone, but apparently there was some kind of friction with getting his phone.
Yeah.
We don't know what the friction
so
was.
the phone and the key were.
Wait a minute. It was friction because they didn't know what the damn phone. They were trying to hide the phone. What you talking about, man? Come on, Elmore.
At the same location, which was Jack's house.
Okay.
I mean, Kunta and the light-skinned Harriet Tubman, they milking this one. You haven't found. If y'all so interested in that, why you ain't give up the phone and let him look at the damn phone then? Since you want to know what the facts is, why you didn't contact his friends and the people that was around at the island instead of Benjamin Crump?
And again, all of these kids share their locations on Snapchat. And so she was like, hey, I can go pick his phone up, not thinking that his car is there, you know, which she stopped everything she was doing. Her and the boys, they went out. Like, we were all out searching for him that night. And
including the white friends too, was searching for him. We've already understood that. If they did something, first of all, they wouldn't have called the Coast Guards the number with him in the boat. That don't even make any sense. Who got a dead body in the boat and said, I'm gonna call, hold on a minute. Yeah, I like to report I got a body here, but our boat is leaking. We gonna make a phone call like that? Come on, that don't even make no damn sense.
yeah, like Elmore was saying, there was an issue, some type of friction. The cops.
There was friction because your friend took a bunch of people like 15 deep, went over to the people's house and was loud, threatening people. That's what happened. Tell the damn story.
Ended up coming and they left. And so then kind of the same thing when we came to pick up the key, Elmore went up there asking for the key, didn't know where the key was, and all of a sudden we.
See, she's trying to imply that they were trying to hide his keys. The damn car parked outside, so why the hell would they hide the keys? It's obvious the car's here. They may not know where the damn keys at. You know, it's been a long night. They looking for y'all. People are knocking on the door, making a big scene and everything else.
You know where the key is.
But see, hold on. But see, this and this is another thing that.
Watch Elmo gonna say he called him in a lie again. This is the same fella who let people park cars in his driveway. He don't know who it is.
That bothered me too.
Now
we got to the house.
Now Elmo is freaking Columbo or some Haku Pero or somebody.
You know, it was
a Kojak. That's who he is. He's Kojak. Beretta.
Some of his other friends were there, you know, and they were, you know, beating on the door like, what Nolan there, what Nolan there, you know, beating on.
Notice what he's saying. The people that went over there was beating on these people's door saying, where's Nolan at? They were already accusing them with no evidence. Christina's friend went over there beating on the door with along with, they say about 14 or 15 people. I don't know how many it was. Saying that where is Nolan? They was already accusing that night.
A little time to get in the house. So I walk up to the door and I'm calming them down. Because for one, okay, you're loud. Two, you're in these people's house. So
did you get that? Elmore just admitted that they were over there acting a fool at these people's house. And you wondering why these people don't want to show up for anything because you're threatening them already. And they have no evidence then.
So if you tear these people's house up, that's going to be a whole nother issue. I don't want to.
So they're trying to tear the people's house up when they don't know. Nobody's done anything. If y'all was so concerned, why didn't y'all tell Nolan don't hang around any white people? Because these white people is dangerous. The whole damn town was hanging around each other. They have no friction. But this town will never be the same. There ain't nowhere in the hell that anybody's going to ever trust this family again. Because what they're going to say is that we always getting along just fine. I don't know what happened to Christine and Elmore. Nobody's ever bringing up race this much. Now it's all about race. Nolan never brought up race. Now they are bringing up race every time they talk. They talk to Al Sharpton, and Al Sharpton going to tell you when we play this clip, it's his job to go down there and be a disruptor.
And three, I need you guys to calm down, and I need them to kind of trust me as being an adult so I can get something out of them.
He need these white folks to trust him so he can get something out of him. Because I know they done something to him. We don't need no evidence. They white, he black.
So I get them out the house, and then
they didn't got in these people's house. That's why they call 911.
Jax finally comes down the stairs, I guess, in the room, hair all messed up like he just woke up, whatever.
See, he's implying that Jax was pretending to be asleep.
I said, look, I'm Nolan's father. His car's outside. I need to get his car and all his personal effects that may be left over here. And he goes, oh man, Nolan was like my brother. I said, well, Nolan was like my brother. I said, well, if Nolan was like your brother, would you please go and get everything of his so I can get his car, I can go home. So he walks off.
See, this is what caused racial tension right here. If I've been friends with somebody, regardless of color, we've been friends all this time, we ain't had no friction, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm not going to automatically just jump to the race card. Because if we've been friends all this time, I don't understand just jumping to the race card immediately. I really don't.
2 or 3 minutes later, he come back. I don't see the keys. Okay. So I leave out the house, go back outside, stand by the car. During that time, one of the guys that was in the house, one of the other friends, he was on the phone with a girl who was apparently there with them earlier that day. And she was telling him that his keys was on top of the Xbox in his room.
So a girl on the phone told another young man that Nolan keys is on top of the Xbox. Why would they share that if they trying to hide something? Just because they didn't know where the keys exactly what it was at? Crazy. My kids leave their keys somewhere. They come over. I don't be knowing where their keys at.
So he goes back up to the door by himself, and we're still out by the car. And lo and behold, here comes the keys. So now to me, you lied to me 3 times. I don't believe nothing that you tell me.
He said he lied to him 3 times. He said the first lie was, you said that Nolan stayed there with a girl. That's not a lie. Second, he said a lie was that Nolan left his phone. You didn't prove they lied about that. And the third one is, we don't know where the keys at. Well, maybe they don't know where the keys at. How is that a lie? But Elmore wouldn't know any better anyway. They finally gave him back his tongue and let him talk, and that's why they just keep sending him out there making a fool of himself. But I want to bring Al Sharpton in. Now, Al Sharpton gets up here, who's supposed to be, don't ever refer to Al Sharpton as reverend. There's nothing reverend about him. Notice Al Sharpton got a hold of hand to bring up. Look, did you see that? Everybody's holding the hand, bringing up, but freaking Elmore. He looking like he in charge or something. Boy, you don't sit down and TT. Al loves this kind of stuff.
Good morning. Let me say the case that we have been dealing with now for the last several weeks around Nolan Wells is indicative of many cases around the country.
I got a question then. There was a little black baby that 2 parents, I think they dissolved the baby's body in some kind of acid. Did Tyler Perry pay for that funeral? The little 2-year-old from Mississippi that was executed by 4 blacks, 3 males and a female. Did Tyler Perry, the down low, did he pay for that one? Matter of fact, if you go look at the news tonight, in every major city, especially the ones ran by Democrats, you will see black after black being killed. Is Tyler Perry going to pay for the funerals of that? See, Tyler Perry paid for the funeral, but it was a publicity stunt. Because if you're going to pay for it, why you telling her? Just pay for it, nigga. Why you got to tell us what you're doing? Yeah, because he wanted everybody to know, just like when he gave T.D. Jakes that money. And you remember when T.D. Jakes was up there, like he was shaking, like he got happy. And he walked up and then Tyler Perry touched him, and he acted like he got the Holy Ghost. That's that devil coming out of you. That's that punk coming out of it. Yeah, that's what that was. Because I used to talk about, they used to tell me, these fake Christians used to tell me about, don't you touch God's anointed. I didn't know the nigga was God's anointed. I mean, could have fooled me because I didn't even know he know Jesus the way he be butchering the gospel. I didn't even know he know Jesus. Excuse me.
that have raised serious questions with racial overtones.
Like what, Brother Al? Could you be a little bit more specific?
Attorney Crump and I are going tomorrow, where I'm doing the eulogy for a young black man in Madison, Wisconsin.
First of all, he's not black, he's Latino. So you're lying. And he's been arrested like 40 times. He was attacking the cops with a freaking knife. He's some innocent lamb now.
Homeless, and
Homeless and very violent.
they say he had a knife, and there's the tape of him being shot. 3 cops surrounding him, shot and killed.
Why did he have a knife attacking the officer then? F-A-F-O is all I got to say.
4 shots. And these cases building up in a climate of an administration in Washington.
Now he gonna make this press conference about Nolan Wells is about Donald Trump in Washington, D.C. now.
That we cannot feel will objectively investigate. There was a time that we could say of state authority.
And they're going to bring Fang Fang's sister right over here. Fang Fang's sister is going to come up and talk in a few minutes. You do know who Fang Fang is, right?
Fail us. We can go to the Justice Department. Even under George Bush. We went to the Justice Department. We, at this point, have to hope that one...
Now, you know what's funny about that? The press conference that we just played that they were doing when the light-skinned Harriet Tubman and Kunta and Benjamin Crump, who's Chicken George, and Al Sharpton, I don't know who he is, they were all, guess what they purposely held us at the NABJ, National Association of Black Journalists. But we don't want to make it about race. But everything that they talked about has been about blackness. Ooh, our young black men are dying. Well, who's killing most of the young black men then? We don't even know if Nolan Wells was murdered. And all the evidence is pointing that he wasn't murdered, he drowned. But we ain't gonna wait for that because we're gonna milk this damn thing as further as we can milk. The cow is out of milk almost. I mean, you need to stop milking the cow. The cow don't have no more milk. The breasts of the cow is sore.
We could deal with civil courts. Or secondly, that there's a balance of power with the Democrats taking the House in November.
The Democrats taking the House. Well, I almost said something on the air. I forgot I was on the air. I almost said something about Al Sharpton on the air. Woo, I'm glad I caught myself. That could have been bad. Because sometimes my mind be thinking I got to stop it. Like, don't say that. You're on the air.
And maybe the Judiciary Committee under that can at least put a check and balance on cases that need to be investigated. But we are right now where we have 2 parents, lovely parents, I've gotten to know them, that really don't have an answer to a question. Is it a civil rights violation or not?
Well, do the parents want to know if it's a civil rights or not? Because do y'all still got that phone? Why are y'all not giving up the damn phone is what I like to know. I just don't understand why they wouldn't give up the phone. If there's evidence in the phone, why y'all didn't give up the phone? Damn.
And we do not know, how do you trust the words of people that say immediately there was no foul play when you haven't even investigated whether it was foul play? How
do you want to even find out if it is? I mean, do you even want to find out who it is? Or somebody in the comments says, Tamir mom fired Crump. Damn sure did. Damn sure did. Let's not politicize things. What happened to that? Yeah, that's right. What not? Was that Chris said that? Let's not politicize. That's all they do is politicize things. That's what they're good at. Nature Lady says, I'm thinking God is going to use Nolan's death to expose who these people really are. I agree. Miss Parker says, Lord, please don't let the Dems take the House in November. God, please. You sure right about that. Lord, please don't do it. Please, please. Because you think think it's bad now when them demons get in there because they don't have no conscience. They just don't. I mean, these people don't. You talking about somebody with no damn conscience. Democrats ain't got no conscience no more. They once had a little conscience. That's out the window now. That little conscience that they once had is out the window now. It's nothing that these people say now means anything. Big boy Howard. You saw Big boy Howard hit us up. That's the Marine now. Appreciate you, Howard. He's always on point. But watch Al. Al gonna politicize this because this is what Al Sharpton do. He's trash. Al has always been trash. I wish Roy Ennis would push him over in that chair again. Do y'all remember that? When Roy Ennis was on the show with Al Sharpton kept running his mouth. Roy Ennis says, "My time to talk." Al wouldn't be quiet. Roy Ennis pushed that fool over in the chair. Beautiful sight. Oh, that was beautiful. I wish because Roy Ennis is the same fella. He was on there. Remember on the Ronaldo show when Ronaldo got his nose broke? There was some white supremacists on there with Roy Ennis. Roy Ennis started choking the white supremacists. He said, "I don't discriminate." He said, "I hate all you black racists and white racists. I don't differentiate between the two."
You trust people that come back from something that happened and never really give you a straight story of what happened, including you have the keys to the car.
He think he making a point. They don't never tell you what's happened like you have the keys to the car. Fool, they told you they had the keys to the car. Just because they couldn't go identify them right then, that don't mean anything. You haven't proved. In court, none of this stuff that they're saying at this press conference, none of this holds up in court. None of it. Ben Crump's supposed to be a lawyer.
So when you have more questions than answers, you have to have people that will drive the answers out, and that's what we do.
He said he drives the answers out. That's funny, Al.
And that's why I've been involved, and that's why we stay involved. And it gets worse and worse and worse. The parent of one of the boys threatening to sue us.
You hear that? They need to sue your asses because y'all are doxing these young men, threatening them, sending these clowns down here talking about what they're going to do.
For asking a question. Imagine that now. Some of y'all call us, what do you feel about the parents? One of the boys says he's going to sue you and Ben Crump. Sue us for what?
Sue you for causing racial tension with no facts, clown. Do you not understand that part? What do you mean sue you for what? You have came up with not any credible evidence that no crime has been committed, and he said sue me for it. See how you see how divorced from reality these people are? He don't think they did anything wrong. Could be my child because I'll sue the mama too.
What happened? So we've gone back that far. And that is why we're going to stand with these parents, because usually, I come from Brooklyn, New York. I was born.
Why you gotta keep telling us where you from? We don't give a damn where you from. What difference does that make? Where you from?
Born and raised there. I don't come from the South. But my mother.
You damn right you don't come from the South. You know nothing about the South.
My mother used to bring me down south to my grandmother in Dothan, Alabama. And Congressman, my grandmother told me.
Watch this fool don't even tell the story right. You can tell this fool ain't never been to no farm. He ain't really nothing about no damn South. Because the story is about the dogs, not the pigs anyway. You gonna butcher this story.
You see that pen over there? I said, yeah. She said, that's a pen of hogs and pigs.
It's a pit of hogs, you clown, you. You ain't never been around no hogs, but technically you have two-legged hogs.
I said, yes, ma'am. She said, always know something. If you take a brick and you throw it in that pile, the hog that hollers is the hog you hit. There's too much hollering going on in Mississippi that we haven't hit something. I can't figure out which one we hit.
First of all, he says too much hollering going on. They may have hit something. Well, let me tell you another story about hogs. Since we telling a story, I know a little bit about a hog. Both my granddaddies slopped hogs. And I'm gonna tell you something else about a hog. You can feed a hog anything. You can't poison them by feeding them. Their stomach the Lord made their stomach in a way you just can't fathom. You can feed a hog poison all day, they will never die. Now, if you inject it in them, they'll die. Al Sharpton, Ben Crump is nothing but a bunch of hogs that can't be poisoned. This is a figuratively speaking, so they won't get upset. See, no matter how much you stick truth inside the mouth of Benjamin Crump and Al Sharpton, they keep filling their mouth with lies. And you can't never shut them up because they keep stuffing their mouth with lies. This is all they ever do. Another thing about a hog will eat any damn thing. And no matter how you clean up a hog, the hog likes to be walloping in the mud. Hogs don't really like to be clean. I know they got videos of somebody got a pig in the house. Pigs love mud. And when you slop a hog, it be mud all over the hog. He'll stick their face in that trough and just be eating everything in there, mud and all. They don't care. This is the Al Sharpton and Benjamin Crump mindset. I'm glad you brought up the hog because you act like one.
But we hit something. Because now they talking about lawsuits. They threatening this a mother.
They didn't threaten her, but they needed to. Because she's the one who started all this instigating with the race card. She didn't have no problem about nobody being racist the whole time she was down there in Ocean Springs. And you bring this up. And I'm going to bring this up again. Christine Wells, or whatever the hell she wants to call herself, she was never referring to herself as black. This is worse than Kamala Harris. She never referred to herself as black until this case came up. I looked at your Facebook. I looked at your daddy's Facebook, and he was referring to you as the Filipino princess. Never referred to yourself as no black woman on your damn page. Why all of a sudden now she become black? Because she know how dumb Negroes are. All you got to do is say skin color, and then they get real excited. Like this damn Dr. Umar. Negro been saying he's going to build a school all this time right here. All of these race hustlers get on my damn nerve. Why don't y'all fix the black community? Y'all always tell me how much y'all love black people when you think somebody white done something to them, but you don't do a damn thing to help black people all this other time. More black people have stabbed me in my back than any whites can stab me in my back. I'm talking about from personal experience. Tell a Negro this the other day, you can't tell me nothing. I'm not saying there's bad white people, there's bad Latino people, there's bad black people. There's good black people, there's good white people, and there's good Latinos. But let me tell you something from personal experience. I've had a knife jigged in my back by Negroes more than anybody else. Can't tell me a damn thing about a Negro. Nothing.
Threatening a mother of a child, trying to get her job taken. You wouldn't be hollering.
Speaking of Negroes stabbing you in the back. Now, I know white people stab people in the back. There's some white people that stabbed me in my back before. But I'm going to tell you, I can name story after story. When I was like 19, I was trying to get on the railroad. I was trying to get on at the Coca-Cola, at grocery supply. Negroes worked there, wouldn't even try to help me at all. This is what I'm saying about Negroes. And I didn't help more of these Negroes than a little bit, but they'll stab in your back even after you help them. See, this is the mindset of the Christine Wells and Elmore. You can help them all you want to, they'll still stab you in your damn back. I know them. I know them personally. I didn't help Negroes and they'll stab me in my back in a minute. Be talking like you like a dog. Where's that coming from? All the stuff I've done for you, now you're going to stab me in my back now? You know, the white man, no, I don't want to hear all that. I judge a book by what they do to me. You ain't finna tell me all this other stuff. You want me just to put everybody in one boat? I ain't gonna do that.
If we wasn't hitting something, and we're gonna stay on that, and we're gonna stay on it all the way. In light of that, before attorney, and I call him the Attorney General of Black America, gives us the legal.
He called Benjamin Crump the Attorney General of Black America. No, before I let this clown right here finish, because did he ever bring up the did he bring up is this Fang? Let's see that. Did Fang come up? No, that's the mama came up. Oh, now this lady came up. Now this lady right here, remember her son was murdered. A white man did kill her son because the music was too loud.
Social media people are trying to get likes and hits and all.
He said people on social media trying to get likes. Oh, the Negroes who are and the whites who agree with y'all, it's okay for them to get likes on social media. They show more hate for Officer Tatum than they even show for all these people who told lies. The woman who came with that audio, the expert audio person, she was trying to do a fundraiser too because she said she feel threatened. You made up a lie. You added something to a damn audio that wasn't there.
Do that against people like me that offered ourselves. They didn't ask for this. All they want is what happens.
Did that woman? I thought I let the woman talk. I thought she talked.
Everybody comes to.
Oh, this is her. Yeah, I want to let her talk. I want to bring Fang up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that, please?
I'm sorry. Has the DA said anything, given any guidance on a joint investigation of the cell phone?
We are in constant communication, and just like anything, like to address the gentleman sitting next to you. What was your name again?
Greg.
Oh, Greg. Yeah. You get two shots. Yeah.
This is Greg Dunmore.
Okay. Just to address Greg's question, you know, the truth has to be proven and shown with the methodology, the way they came about. Someone just can't come out and say, hey, you know, I have a Ferrari, and then you believe they have a Ferrari. I don't have a Ferrari.
What the hell is this fool talking about? Let me rewind a little bit. What was the question? He ain't got on a 10. He sounded like a white Al Sharpton or something. Hell is he talking about Ferrari?
We extend all of the resources of the federal government to help this family get to answers.
He wants the federal government to spend all that damn money. Why don't y'all spend some of that money y'all raised in? Because all of these other murders that we know for a fact was a murder, you want them to take resources. We don't even know if a crime was committed on this.
Of the truth. And that's all you would want if it was your child. That's all they want if their child. Every resource available. Help me. Help us get to the truth.
And let me say that and answer that. It's important that you understand that when we raise these issues, that's all what we wanted. We raised the issue. I was out front. Ben was the attorney with Trayvon Martin. And we finally got George Zimmerman in court. When the jury said not guilty, we said we disagreed, but we didn't go and attack his parents.
Hold on a minute. I'm glad you brought up George Zimmerman because I know George Zimmerman is homeless now. I don't think George Zimmerman was some kind of saint because he was beating his wife, his girlfriend, whatever. But I don't even know why y'all keep trying to bring up Trayvon Martin because I'm very familiar with the Trayvon Martin case. And let me tell you, I covered that. Trayvon Martin was beating the crap out of George Zimmerman. The reason the jury found George Zimmerman innocent and not guilty is because if you look at the evidence of who was getting beaten, Trayvon Martin, according to the witness and according to the injuries of George Zimmerman, he was on top of him, banging his head up against the concrete, beating the hell out of him. George Zimmerman didn't get one punch in. So quit bringing it up like that's credible or something.
We didn't go and chase him down. We accepted that. When we had the killing in Missouri with Michael Brown.
Another one, Michael Brown calls it himself. You making poor examples, clown.
And President Obama was president.
Yeah, we know because President Obama was one of the ones who instigated a whole bunch of the race stuff instead of making it better.
We asked for the federal government to come in there. Eric Holder and them investigated cases.
Now, I want to bring up the lawyer because I'm sick of Al Sharpton. I want to bring up this lawyer who's representing one of the young men.
Suggestion that your client knew the woman being called Katie, who may have been with Nolan Wells, may have been his reason that he didn't want to go home with the buddies who brought.
This is so easily disproven here.
Brought him.
Yeah, and so there have been a number of just purely made up things, and this is one of the more egregious purely made up things. What happened in this instance, Chris, is that somebody literally went and pulled a picture of my client with a young lady that was several years old, and then misidentified the young lady as someone named Katie, who, according to other witnesses, Nolan was speaking to that day.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with this level of speculation, which has gone on to, essentially that my client had a relationship with this person named Katie, and it created jealousy that Nolan was speaking to her, and that is evidence of motive. The problem with that line of reasoning is that the person in the photograph, upon which the entire theory is based, is not in fact someone named Katie. And let me say this, because some news organizations have covered this point as if it's a he said, she said debate. Journalists are capable of actually figuring out who is in the photograph.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that they went to high school with who can tell you who's in the photograph.
Like Chris Como said, Too many times when you was at CNN, Chris Como, y'all was making up stories too. What are you talking about?
The young lady's mother can tell you who's in the photograph. The young lady can tell you who's in the photograph. We've chosen not to use her name because we don't want her to face the same ridiculous level of scrutiny and craziness that's going on the internet.
See, this is how these internet people think they're so damn smart, just be butchering information. Amen. But I want to get to the part he talked about the autopsy.
And I'm going to go after the people who are going after me, put them on notice to cease and desist their disparaging and defamatory comments. And if they don't, I will sue them for the same. That has been your approach. Has it changed the disposition? I know one account responded by saying basically, bring it on, as if they were welcoming of that. What is your assessment of the situation and in response to that?
Yeah, I would say that ultimately issues like this aren't going to get decided on Facebook, but in a court. I would say that same individual did actually take down all of the posts related to my client.
See, they talk noise on the internet, but they wouldn't remove the post. I'd still sue them.
And I can confirm.
While simultaneously inviting us to bring it on. I would also, not that it's my job to give counsel to people who may be on the other side of us, but, those posts are going to be evidence. The post in which people talk about getting rich off of the fact that they're making defamatory comments.
Yep.
End up as evidence.
Mm-hmm.
And I would suggest that it's evidence that federal judges probably won't look too kindly upon.
Yeah. The impact on Bart, his life, how serious have the threats been?
Think about this. Zero evidence, and they doxing these young men, threatening them, and they're mad because they hired lawyers to stop from being doxed when they haven't. There's been not one shred of evidence to prove that they've done anything wrong.
And
please don't tell me you listen to Elmore.
Know that there was a suggestion that his accurate address had been put out there. What have been the effects of the notoriety?
Yeah, and so the answer is that his address was put out there. Pictures of his home were put out there. Land plats showing where to find the property relative to other property were put out there. That's doxing. That's all in violation of some of these platforms' terms of service, but candidly,
Think about what he just said. People on social media, including YouTube, are doxing people, destroying people's lives, and they're not being demonetized. See, the community guidelines does not apply to the left like they apply to those on the right.
These platforms are slow to act on those things. Look, we believe the consequence of that and some of the things that have been put out there.
That's what Clever is always calling Elmore Gump, like Forrest Gump, Elmore Gump.
Are the credible death threats that have been received both by my client and his family. I don't want to sensationalize those things because candidly, I don't want to invite other sickos into the fold, but they're real, and law enforcement has treated them as being real up to and including an arrest by the FBI on Friday.
And look, it is not a secret. The account, well, there are multiple.
Yeah, another dumbass that he was from Chicago threatening to kill somebody. I'm gonna play a video of a fellow who needs to be arrested too.
Accounts, but one of them is known as Kimbra Lee, and she has said that she stands by everything she says, but the posts and the content on that page.
If she stand by it, why did she remove the post? That's what I like to know. You stand by it, 10 toes down.
Has changed the last time I checked it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there have been things removed. There's also been additional qualifications, I think, in the way that it's getting presented. We know who that person is. That is a pseudonym, but we know who that person is.
It is often a pseudonym. It
Yeah.
is often that way. Not a lot of people want to own what they put out online.
Nope.
So let me say this on.
It's easy to hide behind and just throw stuff out there slandering people without no facts.
There are like three levels of analysis here, right? To us, at least. There's who are the defamers that are just making up things wholesale.
Yep.
Right. And then there's a more sophisticated layer of people that we think send signals, who maybe try to skirt defamation, but actively send signals that some of these folks who are a little bit off hinge pick up on and run with. And then I think there's a third level. And, whether this is moral culpability or legal culpability, we'll find out maybe. But the platforms that allow for the proliferation of very sensational conduct.
See, this is what gets me about, especially YouTube, because I see they keep saying Facebook is being sued a lot, but what about YouTube? Because nobody has defamed people more out of money or cheated more people out of money than the platform of YouTube. I'm sorry, it just hasn't.
Defamatory statements. But candidly,
but why do these platforms allow people just to flat out lie on people? Just to flat out lie. They know they're telling lies before they even tell them, and they'll hunker down. But I bet you if you put them under oath, take them to trial, make them say it under oath, I bet they won't say it.
That have a design that not only allow for that, but that push that and that create both a profit motive for the platforms, but candidly a profit motive for the people who are creating that content.
Yep. I think it's all relevant. And of course, the shame is that this on certain levels doesn't make sense at this point, but that's because of all the layers that have been put on top of the unknown, in my assessment. Now, I am hearing from sources.
Listen to this part real good.
That I will protect close to the investigation, that the investigators do have more information from their autopsy, not the autopsy, the secondary one that was done by the family and their agents and representatives, which was, of course, going to be less conclusive, less helpful, frankly, than the initial one, because certain things were removed and kept for later investigation, which is very normal. The suggestion that they took things and hid them so the family couldn't find things out.
Well, they know that was a lie because you can do a casual, even a Google don't even deny that. It was standard procedure to remove some of the organs when doing an autopsy. This is standard procedure. During the toxicology report, everybody knew this. So to pretend and come on the internet sensationalizing things when you know damn well you're lying is irresponsible.
I see no basis for that, and certainly autopsies regularly collect tissue samples and other parts of the body for examination. You have also heard that they know things about the first autopsy.
Yeah, so what I've tried to do is not to increase or worsen a speculative environment. There are things that I know that I think the average person doesn't know.
I think there are things that I know that the average person doesn't know that are not points of speculation. One, that they found now, and again, this could cut three different ways. They found evidence of water in tissue and cavities consistent with drowning. However, the body was also floating in the water. and could have collected water. You could shoot me. I fall in the water. I could have water become the equivalent of ingestion.
Well, we know he wasn't shot. We know he wasn't stabbed. There was no damage to the body. So that's a false analogy.
Not that often, but it happens. In the stomach, yeah, a little bit. Depends on the condition of the epiglottis. The lungs, more common because there are more entryways that can get to it. The second is, okay, so there was water in there and he was drowned, but he had help drowning. And that the third possibility is,
watch what the lawyer says.
That there was water there, but it is not conclusive. I am being told it is consistent with drowning. What that means investigatively is still open to interpretation. You've heard the same.
Yeah, so let me just say this briefly, that it's important to recall that even in the independent autopsy that has been made public, that there were no signs of defensive wounds noted by the pathologist.
Mm-hmm.
There were no contusions noted by the pathologist. There were no lacerations noted by the pathologist. There was no injury to bone noted by the pathologist.
So there was no injury to the body. Remember those two heifers came on saying the body was burned up and all this kind of stuff? They need to be charged to sue them too.
And so I just want to say that because I understand you're offering a hypothetical by saying you could be shot and then put in water. I want to be very clear that even the independent autopsy did not have any indications.
There is no suggestion of gross injury. I thank you for the
zero. Because somebody tell Christine Elmore, Benjamin Crump, Al Sharpton, and the rest of these internet frauds that the body had no injury to it, period. So when they said that we didn't see any foul play, that didn't mean it was finished with the investigation. The initial examination of the body showed that the body had not been harmed in any kind of way. So you had to wait for the autopsy. But Christine Wells and Elmore went to Benjamin Crump and they ran with that, saying that they said they didn't find none of what they said. They said the initial examination showed no damage to the body. You have to wait for the autopsy. You have to wait for the toxicology report. But Christine is almost like she's been waiting for this. Because as soon as that happened, a day later, she's calling Benjamin Crump. Calling Benjamin Crump means you're not looking for evidence. Calling Al Sharpton and Benjamin Crump means you're looking for a payday, if you ask me.
Clarification. I do not mean to suggest otherwise. I'm saying that what I have been told, that there is evidence consistent with drowning, doesn't mean that he drowned necessarily, or that the drowning was the cause of death, or the water in there was the cause of death. I'm just being open-minded because that is the most practical way to be. Subject to, I have not seen the report of the first autopsy. The second autopsy, they did find a red spot on the back of the skull, as people should be aware. What is that? It could be several different things. It could be friction. It could be rubbing. Blunt force, probably not, according to the notes as reported on that second autopsy. Could have been.
But the independent autopsy, who Benjamin Crump and their team picked, this activist doctor, this is what he is, purposely went to him and he left things unsaid so people can speculate. So Chicken George, aka Benjamin Crump, could come on and look at this. He's got a mark in the back of his head. You know damn well that wasn't caused from no blunt instrument damage to the body. But see, he left that unsaid so people like Benjamin Crump can run with this. Freaking Chicken George.
From sitting on itself and lividity, the pooling of fluid, blood, etc. But subject to decay and decomposition, which gives you a little bit more of a qualified analysis.
Okay, now what I like to do is that you remember that first interview that Nolan Wells' parents went on Good Morning America? I think that was the first interview. See, this is what made me fall out with the parents on this one. Because in this interview, and it was the second time Benjamin Crump has said this, Benjamin Crump implied that Nolan Wells was on the recording saying, "Give me my freaking phone." Christine and Elmore both sit right there, acting as if they didn't know that was their son's voice or not. Let Benjamin Crump tell a bold-faced lie, and they didn't change it until that young man came out and said, "That's me on the video." And then all of a sudden, "We don't care if you park your car in my driveway. Don't mean I know you." Okay, that's what you're gonna say now. Because I want to bring this up. This is their first interview.
How extremely tough it must be, and we can express our how sorry we are for you and your family. And first question, how are you two holding?
But of course, too, they were on the boat, and usually when he is out there, which it's not uncommon, he's I think since last year he's been going there occasionally with his friends, and so it would always just be like.
See, all the reports are saying they haven't. I don't know what's taking so long for the grand jury to give back up the autopsy. It's been 2 weeks since the grand jury. It don't usually take a grand jury 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know what they're waiting on now. But the leak information with the autopsy says that there was alcohol definitely in the system. Now, we haven't found out if there was anything else in the system, but they know the answer to it. That means Benjamin Crump knows, and that means Christine knows. That means Elmore knows. They all know. So why they still going with this grifting attempt if you already know what the results are?
Like, "Hey, Mom, I'm back," type of thing. But this time there was no call.
And messages were deleted. How could you tell messages were deleted?
Well, his parents got the phone back, and that's something that's important, Michael, because.
See, Chicken George is always acting like something is important when it makes it out to be some kind of race involved. So Chicken George, a.k.a. Benjamin Crump, to me, what he's doing right here, and I wanted you to watch it closely, because he says that it was Nolan Wells. You mean Christine doesn't know her son's voice? Elmore don't know his stepdaddy. Elmore don't know the son's voice.
They tracked this phone on Life 360.
So Life 360, but when I received the phone call from one.
So you didn't really track. You received a phone call from one of his white friends, and they told you that they had the phone, correct?
I immediately called my friend Tashima, and I said, "Hey,
Tashima's the one went over there with the posse to act a fool in somebody else's house.
Have you guys seen Nolan?" Because her two sons, Jalen and Javon, like, they grew up together. They played City League sports together. When they got into school, they played sports together. And so she was like, "Hey, like, okay," the boys were pulling up the location from Snapchat. So the Snapchat location looks completely different than the Life 360 location. So when I pulled up Life 360, it was different. It was showing everywhere the phone had been. Like, it had, I was like, "Well, it's showing that he's back on land. Like, I'm not." He's like, "But no, he didn't come back with us."
Well, how were you able to get the phone?
So we tracked it, and my friend Tashima went and picked it up.
You said in the other clip that he told you he had the phone. See, this is the first interview. She's saying they tracked it. In the other, they says that he told her on the phone he had the phone.
It wasn't like they said we got his phone. They tracked it, and that.
See, this is when Chicken George has to interrupt her. So let me take over now and spit out some more of my BS.
Highlights all these contradictions, Michael. The fact.
The contradiction is why you won't give up that damn phone. That's the contradiction.
That they said Nolan was talking to a young woman, and she said that he said, "I'm going back to get on the boat with the boy."
So now they're going to take the word of if the young woman had said that, yeah, he went with me, then he left, but he didn't go back with his friends. They said, we don't believe it.
The boy said that he said he was going to stay with her. And so that's an obvious contradiction. And then this video.
Listen to this. This is the part, this is the second, this is the first time he did it, but he did it again, saying Nolan Wells' voice. And look at, I want you to look at the expression of Christine and Elmore. They put their head down because they know Benjamin Crump is lying.
You can hear an argument going where Nolan is saying, "Give me my freaking phone. What are you freaking doing?" And so then his phone
You know, every time at night, you know, this phone, I don't know why this thing does this sometime at night. It does something strange like that. And it just cuts out. I don't know what the hell happened.
Ends up missing. I don't know any teenagers, Michael Strahan, who says, if you believe their story, I'm going to stay behind and I'm going to leave my phone. I mean, no young person leaves their cell phone. And so then there's so many things their parents were telling us about. Even why didn't his body wash up with the tide on Sunday? Why would it come on Monday? It's not adding up. And that is the problem when you think about the history of Mississippi.
Yeah, so there are so many questions that need to be answered. And is there anything you'd like people to know about Nolan? What would you like them to know about your son?
No,
okay.
Nolan. Take your time.
Y'all able to hear that?
Nolan was.
Can y'all hear me now?
He was very loving. He was liked by all. It was not a friend that he couldn't make.
No, we'll be right back with more of the parents of Nolan Wells and attorney Ben Crump. We're back now on GMA with the parents of Nolan Wells, Christina and Elmer Wansley. And I want you to please continue to tell us what you want the world to know about your son.
So Nolan was just like this bright light, right? Walk into a room, his smile, his energy was just so.
I don't know. My I can't hear a damn thing on my damn speaker here. For some reason. Can y'all hear me now? Because I'm not able to hear what the hell's. Let me see why this thing is not. Oh, you come on, you son of a. Can y'all hear me? Huh? Well, I can, none of my things. Can y'all hear when I play the recording? No, I'm saying, can you hear the recording when I was playing the recording? Was y'all still able to hear that? I don't know why I can't hear it. I can't hear it. Okay, then. All right, bye. I'm about to reload my my clips here because my clips is okay. GLC says solid too. Because I had somebody I wanted to play. Let me get these clips off of here because see if it'll let me play the clips now. Let me see if this clip will play. Microphone output. I'm gonna see if that does it. Because there's a clip I want to play. Now, I want to play this man here. This is a man that was threatening the telling people to go down there and do something. Let me see if I can pull him up here. I don't understand why the FBI didn't went and talk to him. You make these kind of threats online right here. Let me see if I got him. Here he is right here.
gangbangers in these inner cities around the U.S. What y'all need to be doing is taking all that anger and the hatred and your bad attitudes and your 3 pounds and your 4.5s and your AKs and your ARs and your switches and your poo shicey mask. Y'all need to be loading up them vans and y'all need to be going straight to Mississippi and handling them people who did Nolan Wells wrong. That's what y'all need to be doing. Y'all need to stop abusing each other in these inner cities.
He said, I need to go down there and whoever did Nolan Wells wrong. Well, we don't have any evidence that nobody did anything to Nolan Wells. What the hell is you talking about? Just don't understand these people who make these kind of lies up. How we know anybody did something to Nolan Wells? Shit. You haven't showed us anything, any proof. But he says it now. Somebody say he's a teacher.
And aim that energy in the direction where it needs to be aimed. You need to take that recklessness and point it to Mississippi. That's what you need to do. Because I know how it is in Mississippi. I was born and raised there. Right? Y'all need to stop messing with people who not on the same level as y'all. Go give that anger and that hatred to the people who are on the same level as y'all.
See, these are like dumbasses like this be online thinking they're actually spitting ballistics. Then they gotta tell you where they're from. So they got now, according to some people, they said this. Let me see. They said this is him online. Now he's telling people to go down there and do violence. No evidence to back up anything he's saying. You can't prove nobody's wrong. Anybody, you can't. You don't got no proof. According to the information, they're saying this is him from Palm County School District. He's a teacher. This is what some people are saying. He's a teacher. Now, I don't know if it's true or not. But he goes on here and tell people to go down here and act. Why don't you take your bad ass down there and do it then? Dumbfounds me. This is it. They say this is him too. Jay is in so random. So he's telling people to go down there and act the fool with no damn evidence.
People who actually want to do you harm. Yeah. Take it to Mississippi. Take it to Mississippi. Load up them vans. Load up them weapons. Put them masks on. And go to Mississippi.
See, why don't you take your bad ass down there and do it then? Everybody's a badass on the internet. And then they'll get mad when you say something about it, and they'll start huffing and puffing. I don't give a damn about you huffing and puffing on the internet. Care about none of that. When you're telling people to go do harm and hurt themselves behind stupidity, when you don't have a shred of evidence to prove anybody did any damn thing to Nolan Wells. I don't know how you can become as stupid as some of these people have become. But they'll sit here and listen to dumbasses on the internet. And these dumbasses make them do dumb stuff. And what gets me, though, is that people be acting like these people are credible. Well, I heard was such and such. Okay, then you let a dumbass wire you up. That's on you. That's your problem is y'all keep on listening to a bunch of dumbasses on the internet. If they're such badass, tell them to go down there and do it. Why you telling everybody else to do it? Won't you take your badass down there and do it? Everybody's a damn badass on the freaking internet. I'm going to go do this, I'm going to go do that. Notice that you never have any good advice coming from these people. If you're so damn upset about what's happening in the black community, won't you Negroes fix something in the black community? Y'all got more money than ever before. All the rappers are rich. All this hip hop community is rich. You got rich actors, rich movie producers. But all y'all do is put out trash stuff. Tyler Perry technically just put out most of his movies is him dressing as a woman. Why don't he make some regular movies about regular families? Kind of like the kind of ones that Bill Cosby used to make. You know what I mean? Why don't you make something like that? He don't make nothing like that. Because everything gonna be about drug dealers, a woman being abused, man being abused, somebody being a whore, all of this kind of stuff is what y'all put out. And then you get mad when somebody call you on it. Put out some quality product. That's what I say. My man Gold Delete just hit us up on Buy Me a Coffee. Did you see that Gold Delete? They put out pure trash. Every time you look around, their award shows is trash. Their movies are normally trash. They produce, the music is trash. Listen, they used to have love songs back in the day. Some of you didn't even know the OJs was singing, when they were singing Stairway to Heaven, you didn't even know the OJs was talking about sex. Because they know how to be discreet even when they're talking about sex. Now, if you hear one of these songs, R&B or something on there, oh, I F that B and I did this to that B. Well, can't be a little bit more discreet than that? Do you have to be saying your P is wet and all that? Can you be a little bit more discreet? See, this is the kind of stuff they put out. It be on the radio. You be saying, like, that's on the radio? I F that hoe and she did this to me. Listen, back in the day, they sung songs that was raunchy, but you didn't even know it till you got older because you didn't even know what they was talking about. How many of y'all thought the OJ's Stairway to Heaven was about a song going to heaven? Stairway to Heaven ain't got nothing to do with no heaven. Nothing. Listen to the lyrics. But you didn't even know that. Some people was playing that in church. Playing the OJ Stairway to Heaven, and he talking about having sex. And you thinking about, he talking about going to see Jesus. No, that's not what he was talking about. Because they had some kind of discreet. See, people used to be discreet when they would talk about stuff. Listen, as much as we love Luther Vandross, everybody knew Luther Vandross was gay. I'm sorry he was. Luther Vandross, that boy can sing. He made some bad songs. But see, he kept it to himself. He didn't let everybody in his bed. He had to come out the closet and all this kind of stuff. He just sung good music. And that's the problem with a bunch of people. They don't know how to be discreet in nothing. This is your wife. She outside with her coochie out. She outside with her buttocks out. She outside with her breasts out. Look at Kanye West. Every time you see his, quote, wife, she's outside there. Did you see Kanye West? She barely had no clothes on. Well, it's a story when she actually put some damn clothes on. Kim Kardashian. Oh, my God, Kim Kardashian. She was out practically nude. That's not news. We know that because they have no discreet. Why don't you dress like that for your man? Y'all, everybody don't gotta see all your stuff. I don't understand that. Why you outside with everybody seeing all your stuff? But see, this is the new generation now. This is why we have faces like this. People listen to Al Sharpton, Benjamin Crump, because we have no discernment about nothing. And we don't even know how to do anything low profile about anything anymore. Everything got to be ultimate. He said such and such. And when you call one of them out, they get on here like a bunch of apes beating their chest, talking about what they're going to do. You ain't going to do a damn thing. You'll be dead pretty soon because you don't know how to act. That's your problem. You don't know how to act. So when I hear people telling me about race relations, and they keep telling me about stuff, you know, in Mississippi, this is what happened way back 71 years ago. It seems like there's more interracial couples in Mississippi than anywhere else. But now Al Sharpton and Benjamin Crump wants to make it all about race now. What's your evidence, damn fool? And you freaking ignoramus on the internet, acting like if you got the fact. Dr. Umar, all he talks about is race all the damn time. What are you doing to stop the black community from killing each other? Number one killer, I'm going to keep saying it. Number one killer of black people is black people. Number one killer of white people is white people. Number one killer of Latinas is Latinas. Number one killer of Asians is Asians. Now, it's more likely that a black will kill a white than a white will kill a black. You do know that, right? Now, I know that sounds shocking to some of you. Oh, I know I'm cool. Listen, here's the thing I don't understand. Some of these, like Stephen A, is really afraid to just say the truth. I never seen so many people who get on the internet, but they're more about clickbait of somebody disagreeing with them. There was some story that started that they had it was on the internet, and they asked the man, which one would you rather, if it was your wife and kids on a boat and you can only save one first, who would you save first? And the man said he'll save his wife first, and they lost their mind. Well, which relationship do God say is supposed to be the closest? See, that's the part. And see, this is why they had this fella in this big church down here, the church called the Luke Church. 8,000 members, all them fake members over there. This clown endorses James Tallarico, the man that says that God is non-binary. That ain't offensive to you? See, these ignoramuses go to church every Sunday, and after they go to church, it seems like they don't even realize you going to church, but you don't even listen to nothing in your Bible. Do you ever read the Bible? They be the ones who want to pretend to be Christian now. Well, you know, there's a bunch of roads that lead to heaven. No, see, the Muslims don't believe there's a bunch of roads to heaven. So why would I be? I'm narrow-minded if I say Jesus is the only way. Jesus said he's the only way. Take it up with Jesus. Don't take it up with me. And from the evidence, it proves he is. But see, these folks, and some of the most ignorant people is the one who go to church every Sunday. I used to talk to a fellow when I was in the chemical business. I ain't going to say his name, but if he listens, you know what I'm talking about. It was at the Shell chemical plant in Deer Park, Texas. I used to have to go there Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday. We had a contract with Shell Refinery in Deer Park, Texas. Now, I tried to inform him that people barking in the spirit is not spiritual. But he said Rodney Howard Brown, who's a fraud, a fake preacher, he says that it's credible because Kenneth Copeland and the rest of these clowns, Cleflo Dollar, was telling him that Rodney Howard Brown is a prophet of God. You don't think people are the same ones who said Benny Hinn was a prophet of God. Now, we know Paula White, who Donald Trump, for some reason, got her around, completely fraud. Now, I don't know if Benny Hinn is still hitting it up Paula White because they was caught in a hotel a long time ago. But Benny Hinn once had a prophecy that says all homosexuals will be killed before, I think it was 1977, if I'm not mistaken. Now, I ask you, why would somebody else follow Benny Hinn? Since that prophecy has failed, homosexuality has become more prevalent. They got parades of butt-naked men in the middle of the streets now. Now, you want me to listen to people like Benny Hinn. Now, when you show me you're not credible like Al Sharpton or Christina Wells, now, why would I listen to anything you say? You're not credible. Don't get mad because I call you not being credible. T.D. Jakes is not credible. Don't you mad at the wrong person. And anybody who going to that church, the Luke Church, right in Houston, Texas, with 8,000 members, your pastor endorsed a man who insults your Bible, your Jesus, and your God. That's why you can listen to Benjamin Crump. That's why you can listen to Al Sharpton, because you got no damn discernment. No discernment whatsoever. And then you get mad at me. You can't bully me around, clown. You got me mixed up. Whenever somebody tell me not to say something, if I wasn't going to say it, if you tell me not to say it, damn it, I'm going to show say it. If you leave me a comment threatening me, tell me not to say something, I'll make 50 videos talking about that and dare you to do something about it. Tell me I can't talk about what the hell I want to talk about. What makes these internet clowns get on the internet, getting themselves upset about what somebody's saying on the internet? You insecure little man, you upset because somebody's saying something factual on the damn internet. You got yourself worked up because you're too stupid to read any damn thing. And you get mad because you can't bully me. You better say that for somebody else. You can't bully me. You're not gonna tell me not to talk. I talk about what I ain't Officer Tatum. You can't bully me around, clown. Don't even try. Don't even think you can bully me around. Tell me not what to talk. That's why you two don't like me, because you can't bully me around. You get mad because I quote the facts about some. You haven't discredited nothing. Nothing Al Sharpton says, nothing Benjamin Crump says, nothing Elmore or Christine has said has any factual evidence, period. Don't get mad at me. You got mad, clown. Now, this little guy right here who thought he was a tough guy, he's on the internet telling everybody to go down with their mask. Take your monkey ass down there with a mask. Won't you do it? Probably never even had a real fight in your whole life, talking tough like that, telling everybody else to go get themselves in trouble. That's stupidity. This proves they don't even love you. They'll have you just burn down your whole life over some stupid with no facts. And then get upset. Look at this Uncle Tom. Your mama's an Uncle Tom too. Your granny, I don't give a damn if she's dead. She's Uncle Tom too. You're upset because you can't bully me around. I can't be bullied. No amount of threat on the internet. I don't give a damn about none of that. None of that. You upset because you can't articulate your point. You're ignoramus. Ignorant folks get upset and want to threaten people when they can't prove their damn point. What you upset about? Prove your point, clown. You upset because you ain't smart enough to look up anything. You're not smart enough to articulate anything. Herd mentality. This is what's wrong with our society right now. Everybody praises dumbasses on the internet. AOC is going to run for president, proving my point. Man, dummy should have never been allowed to be the damn mayor down in New York. You tough guys talking tough. I'm from Brooklyn. Why don't y'all go stop Mandummy from doing something? They praying in the middle of y'all streets 5 times a day. Come on, claim your set then. You blood, you crook. Go ahead and do something to the bastards who destroying your damn city. They ain't doing a damn thing to do something about it destroying your city, but you're on here beating your chest like an ape, telling other people what to do. See, too much of your life, your mammy didn't told you was smart, but you was a moron. She got to tell you that about it, because she don't know no better anyway, because your mammy probably not that smart either. You're upset because you can't prove your point. And when people can't prove their point, when they start threatening because they can't prove their point, you just prove, case over. I already know you too ignorant to prove your case. That's why you got to get yourself upset. Look at the way they threatened Officer Tatum. What did he do? He interviewed some young men. So he needs an approval, a permission slip from you people in order to interview somebody? I don't understand people like this. I really don't. I can't relate to most of you. Because instead of just going and says, I'm going to go prove that he's lying. No. I'm not going to prove he's lying. I'm going to threaten and call. You Uncle Tom, you cool, he doing this. What did he do wrong? He interviewed the people. And I keep on seeing these people saying, he just got destroyed by such and such. No, he didn't. You people not intelligent enough because you got lies on your side. You can't destroy truth with a lie because some of you perceive to be true. You guys told us uncategorically that the audio expert had saw and interpreted what they was hiding the dead body on the boat. But when they asked Benjamin Crump and Christine, do y'all want us to send the dogs over there to sniff out the boat, see if it's a dead body? No, don't do that. We don't want facts. We can't grift if you come up with facts. Grifting is out when you come up with facts. That's what they mad about. Get over it, damn it. Upset about all kind of stuff. Before I forget, I need to pray for I forgot I told Eric I was gonna pray for his friend. Hold on a minute. Let me get his friend name again because I forgot about it. Before I forget, let me do it for I'll get back on my soapbox, but I told Eric I was gonna pray for his friend. His friend's name is Jordan. He passed away in a car crash, and he was one of my classmates from welding school. That was Eric told me. He was one of the students that helped me, unlike most. So let's do a quick prayer for Jordan, Eric's friend who died in a car crash. Father, we thank you for another day. We pray a special blessing for Jordan's family. We pray that you will comfort them in their hour of bereavement. We pray that you will give them the strength in order to get through such a tragic situation. A young man died at the age of 22. We pray for his family. We pray for they have peace. We pray that you comfort them in their hour of bereavement. It is in Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen. Now, I want to get back on my soapbox because I be seeing all these people on the internet. And what I notice is that the ones who's talking the loudest and threatening the most are the most ignorant ones. And see, it is dangerous to be ignorant and not know you ignorant. Those are some of the most dangerous people. Empty wagon makes the most noise. Dumbasses will make the most noise. And they will be telling you, acting as if they're in the right too. You can't tell. How you gonna tell me something? I know I can't tell you nothing because you're too damn ignorant. I'm not trying to tell you nothing because I don't keep on correcting fools. The Bible says, correct the fool, make an enemy. Why don't you just give me some facts on what you believe in? So the facts of the case is, I want to be clear again. I have not seen one shred of evidence that there was foul play any damn where. Now, if you got some different evidence to prove there was foul play, please present it because I will talk about it. But I don't care nothing about what Christine says, Elmore, Benjamin Crump, or none of you other freaking YouTube trolls say on the internet. You haven't shown me one shred of evidence that anybody did anything to Nolan Wells. So you can stop saying justice for Nolan Wells because we don't know if anybody done anything to Nolan Wells. Maybe he's already got justice because you haven't proved that anybody has harmed him in any kind of damn way. So you said justice for Nolan Wells. I want justice for Nolan Wells too. If anybody has harmed the young man, I want to know. And please, and trust me, I'll attack them just the same way. If you can prove to me that one of those young men, somebody harmed Nolan Wells and did something to his body, I will attack them the same damn way. But until then, get off the internet, making your money, lying to people. You need to be sued. As a matter of fact, I want those attorneys to go after all of these YouTubers and Facebook or Instagram, sue all their asses. Give them something to do. Because as long as they're making money or saying anything, see, whether I'm making that, I say the same thing regardless. The only thing they hinge on to is stuff that they don't care about lying. They'll sell their own mammy for enough money. Worse than this heifer who sold a little 5-year-old girl. They executed that SOB too. It sold her little old girl, for little 5-year-old girl, to some filthy animal who raped that little girl. But I noticed nobody was that upset about that little girl being done like that. But we upset about manufactured stuff. We're really upset. Justin, for no, shut the hell up. Al Sharpton and Benjamin Crump is talking about a march on D.C. For Nolan Wells, let's celebrate it on the 19th because that's Nolan Wells' birthday. You can celebrate all you want to, but let's quit acting like he's an activist. I mean, we got to use activism for Nolan Wells because we don't know if anybody did anything to him. They're going to piggyback on this. I don't care if it's Mamie cries on TV. That doesn't make it right because she cried. That doesn't make anybody been and harm her son because he cried. She's supposed to cry over her son, but don't manufacture it and lie to me and want me to actually say, well, you know, we need to get justice. I don't know because you haven't given me any evidence to prove that anybody wronged your son in any kind of way. Getting on TV crying because you didn't get the fact. It takes autopsies and toxology this long for anything. And you guys have not given the benefit of doubt for anything. Quit acting like you're looking for evidence. When this comes out and he drowned, they're not going to accept it either. Because you can't grift off of making it a drowning. There's no drifting on that. See, Whitey did it. Saying Whitey did it, that can get you money. That'll get Tyler Perry and Colin Kaepernick and D.L. Hughley, the whole clown show. D.L. Hughley's daughter was being molested by his friend, and he didn't do a damn thing about it. Quit acting like a tough guy on the internet, D.L. Hughley. Freaking P-U-S-S-Y. Quit acting like a tough guy on the internet. Some man did something to your daughter, and you ain't do a damn thing about it. I'd have cut his throat. Think you gonna molest my damn daughter, fool. You got life mixed up. So D.L. Hughley didn't do anything to a man who did something to his daughter. He on the internet talking tough, huffing and puffing. Clown, you ain't tough. Quit the tough act online. You may be able to fool everybody else with all that yappity yak stuff. See, yappity yak don't mean nothing. Not to a real one. Yakety yak don't mean nothing. You just talking. I don't mean nothing to me. All that talking don't mean nothing to me. But see, this is what they're good at. They're good at running their mouth, getting emotional because you're an emotional midget. You're a midget in the mind. And so you got to get all emotional all the time. Can't control your impulses because that's how you actually communicate. You can't articulate your point. So you get emotional and think that makes you right because you got emotional. No, you just emotional. You know what? It's what you are. All that emotional stuff don't mean nothing. Get on the internet, all huffing and puffing. Every time I see one of them, they all worked up because you disagree with you. Oh, you won't tell me. Calm down, clown. Calm down. All that emotional stuff. I don't trust you because you're too emotional over nothing. You haven't proved anything, but you're emotional. Tell me, talk to guy talking in prayer. Why you getting all emotional for no reason? Because I disagree with you. You didn't prove a point, but you're going to get all emotional now. You need to pipe that down. Give a damn about you getting mad, clown. You upset because you can't bully me around about your freaking talking point because everybody else let you get away with your ignorance. But I won't do it. No, yeah, I'm not gonna get upset because you got upset over that. It's almost like the point when you tell them that. So I want to help the black community too. So let's start with the things that's harming the black community first. Let's deal with the two top things that's harming the black community. Since Al Sharpton and Benjamin Crump. Al Sharpton been doing this for a while. Has the black community got better since Al Sharpton has been grifting for about 50 years? Have the black community got better? As long as Al Sharpton and Benjamin Crump is representing black community, y'all gonna constantly be trash in your community. As long as those are your heroes, you're gonna constantly be trash. You try to give them a real role model, they don't even want it. Justice Thomas, that's Uncle Tom. They don't want real role models because you try to give them somebody who they can be proud of. Nuh-uh. They proud of Al Sharpton, really. You got to have real low IQ to be proud of Al Sharpton. Benjamin Crump? Has Benjamin Crump made black neighborhoods better? No. None of your leaders have. The NAACP hasn't either. Matter of fact, I forgot the woman's name, Hilda or something like that. The one who was either the CFO or something of the Southern Poverty Law. Did you see she was arrested? She was arrested. This was the woman who came up with all this race baiting. Matter of fact, wait, hold on a minute. I think I may have the clip of this heifer. This race baiting. But you notice that the NAACP, who works with the Southern Poverty Law Center, they didn't say a damn thing about that because they're nothing but a bunch of professional grifters. Let me see. I think I got that. This is her right here. This is her.
I think white supremacy is, one of the worst things.
This is not playing. I don't know. Shit. Put my earphones in.
Mankind has come up with. I think white supremacy is.
Hilda, she looks like. Is she with? Is this Adolf Hitler's a daughter or something? A granddaughter? She has a PhD. Hilda. She was sleeping with a racist. Literally, not figured. She was literally sleeping with one of the racists, and she was using the Southern Poverty Law Center's money to pay one of the white supremacists she was sleeping with. But listen to what she taught.
Their views. I think white supremacy is, one of the worst things mankind has come up with. Well, I can have a direct impact on these movements. And in the first.
She was sucking and screwing the white supremacists, and she's on TV talking about the white supremacists. When you was getting D'd down by the white supremacists, you wasn't saying none of this heifer. This heifer, I almost said something, girl, don't make me. This heifer right here was sucking and screwing the white supremacists, and then she was the one who was raising money with the NAACP and the rest of these freaking sellout Negroes. She was actually getting them to say all this racism. She was paying the racists to come up with racist stuff while she's screwing them. Monica Lewinsky, the white supremacist, and she's on TV. And she on here talking about white supremacy, which is the worst thing ever happened. You wouldn't say that when you was sucking him off?
Here I was there. We did some very good work, myself and my colleagues, exposing anti-immigrant networks in the United States, some of whom
you'll suck off the immigrants too, heifer.
Some of which are still functioning today.
See, this is the fraud about these Negroes. The NAACP or none of these black organizations has said anything about this heifer who was working at the Southern Poverty Law Center, paying the Klan member, sucking off Klan members and white supremacists, and the Negroes won't say nothing. You know why? Because you're nothing but a bunch of coons, your damn self, freaking cotton-picking Negroes. Always about race when it is ain't popular. You got people like Hakeem Jeffries, freaking a quarter Obama. You ain't even a dollar store Obama. You was a quarter Obama. All of this fake race baiting and stuff. You make niggas make me sick with all that fake stuff. And guess what? You can talk to friends who I know. They can tell you. I tell them this to their face too. Negro, quit telling me about some racism, nigga. You ain't grew up like quit pretending. All this fake racism going on. Get out of my face with that stuff. You ain't going there with me. Because when a white do something, I'm going to say it. If he's wrong, if it's really a white racist, I'm going to talk about him like a dog. But you want me to make up some stuff? These white boys did something to Nolan Wells. Where your proof at? Show me your proof. Because I'll talk about it too if you show me your proof. But you haven't given me anything. Running your power. Shut up, freaking coon. You the coon. Freaking porch monkey. This is the problem with these people. They don't really want to do anything to help the black community. And when somebody comes along and helps the black community, they get upset. Who you gonna tell me something? Get your emotions back. Would you like a tampon, fella? Would you like a tampon? Tim Walls will give you one if you like one. You don't get emotional online, clown. Getting yourself all worked up because you got mad about something I said on the internet. I don't give a damn about how mad you get. All you ain't gonna do a damn thing. You're gonna talk on the internet. So sick of people thinking when they get all worked up, oh my God, I'm scared because you got all worked up. You got guns, so what? When they made one gun, they made other guns. What are you talking about? That's why so many of y'all are dead right now. Because you can't control your freaking emotions. I'm trying to help you out. Now, I hope I was helpful tonight. Hope it didn't make you too upset. I come in peace. I come in the love of my master, the Lord Jesus Christ. I want to pray for you that you open up your damn mind. Quit listening to Al Sharpton's and stuff. Listen, I tried to give the parents the benefit of the doubt. I tried to give Nolan Wells' parents the benefit of the doubt. Even though I knew something, because Clever can tell you, I told her, I said, you know what? I'm going to try to give them the benefit of the doubt, but they didn't hire Benjamin Crump. That tells me all I need to know. But I didn't even, I gave them the benefit of the doubt. Nope. Can't do it anymore. This is grifting at its finest. This is professional grifting, what they're doing. You haven't gave over the phone. You haven't told me about any abuse on the body. I won't just tell you what happened to my son. No, you don't. Give up the phone then, damn it. You want to know what happened to your son? Why you still holding the phone? It must be some of that phone you don't want us to see. Somebody deleted it. Well, you don't want to have the code to the phone. I don't think his friends had the code to his phone, did he? Because I ain't never gave one of my friends the code to my phone. Did he give his friends the code to the phone? Because the only one could have deleted anything was the mama. Unless what they did, they broke in the phone and deleted stuff. Okay, all right. Yeah, But if you give up that phone, they can tell you what time it was deleted. Maybe that's what she's trying to do. Because if you give up that phone, they'll be able to tell you when you deleted it, when you had it, all of that right there. Is the reason she's not giving up that phone. That's all I'm saying. I'm just trying to be helpful. That's my job to do is be helpful. I just want the facts. Hey, if somebody looks bad while at the facts, don't take it up with me. I'm just doing my damn job. Good night, Common Sense Nation. We'll talk to you tomorrow.